Hello guys and welcome back to Dan WrestleFan. Today we're going to do a kind of the last couple months figure review. Basically we're going to look at all the figures I got from November and December over the holidays, and before that I can usually get some pretty good deals. There was a toy show I went to, scooped up a couple of these guys, very cheap, and then over the holidays Ringside runs their incredible deal. Check them out. That they still have a bunch of stuff on sale right now at ringsidecollectibles.com. Check them out. You guys can get some of these awesome figures and some amazing prices on them. First, I'll start with my hardcore weapon accessory pack. I've got hands and jackets and stuff in the cart, but where else am I putting all of it? So we've got the shopping cart. It gives you this shopping cart with all the wheels can spin. So we're going to have all kinds of fun with that. You get this table with the barbed wire. Very nice piece. Very good for all of our pick-fed stuff. We got a pile of thumbtacks, which is awesome. I didn't know that was in there. A classic trash can. We used to get this with our Jakks-specific figures all the time. I wish they would bring those back. I think Mattel did a couple of them, but they're not, like, prominent. I guess they don't use trash cans anymore like they used to, but man, do I miss these things. All my Jakks ones I don't think I have anymore. You get handcuffs, you get a torch that's got barbed wire around it. Lost handcuffs just fell. We got a barbed wire bat, a spike plank, bat thing, and then just some loose barbed wire. So that's, get those handcuffs, put those in the cart. Actually, let's put it all in the cart now. We just went through it, but that was the accessory pack, and that was like $7 or something on Ringside. I'm probably going to get 2 or 3 more of these. Just because that's a ton of accessories, man. Like, look at all that. You get all this shush for like $7. Not the chair doesn't. This was the Shawn Spears chair. It doesn't count. But you get the the weapons, the cart, the table, and the track for $7. Like, man, I gotta go back on and get that deal again. We're probably gonna get 2 or 3 more of those. And now let's just start taking a look at what we've got here. There we go. So let's I'll start with like the figures that I picked up at a toy show and stuff. So I got this Mark Henry. This actually came from, I gotta do another plug. Treasure Toy Trove. It's literally right next to Captain Max Collectibles. I used to talk about that on my old channel, Dan Pokemon Adventure. Captain Max Collectibles, talked about him all the time. He dealt with Pokemon cards and all that kind of crap. But now I'm dealing with Jason over at Treasure Toy Trove, where you can get all kinds of figures, a lot of wrestling figures. And if you want old school wrestling figures like Stings, Hulk Hogan's, Rocks, Undertakers, Stone Colds, like the figures from the 90s and stuff, he's got basically, well, just about all of them. So check out Treasure Toy Trove. I'm going to have to get a business card from Jason up there. Great guy, though. Check him out. I think he's got an online. I know he's got a Facebook page. But anyway, we picked up this Mark Henry basic. I don't have a good Mark Henry. The one that I do have is being held together by a shirt that I had sewn for him because his torso was completely jacked. So we got this Mark Henry. It's the when he had his long hair, man, when he had the dreads, World's Strongest Man singlet, just looking super bad, like that Mark Henry. So we picked him up. We also grabbed the Brain Elite. This was like $5, $3, something like that for an Elite figure. I know it's got the T-pose legs. A lot of people complain about that, but I don't mind them. Like, I don't mind this. I don't mind the T-pose Build-A-Figure legs. Like, that doesn't bother me that much because, this isn't one of your main wrestling figures. It's a little beat up. It's a little worse for wear. It's used. But, for $3, I'm not going to complain about that. I'll fix that up, no problem. We also grabbed at, oh man, I'm trying to remember now where I got certain things from. I don't remember if we got these at the toy show or if this was from Jason's as well at Treasure Toy Trove. But we got a Damien Sandow head with a Miz Elite body. So I grabbed that up because I love the Miz gear. Like, all of his gears are always so cool. And then we also grabbed a Finn Balor head and arms on a Miz body, which this one's just cool. This is all the WWE flipped logo, so it's really cool. Happy to find those. Grabbed those. Grabbed this old Daniel Bryan because I love the knee pads and the boots and kick pads, so I grabbed those with the old Daniel Bryan Elite. You know, I'm probably gonna just maybe just take like from the waist down and turn that into a custom, and then take the top off. I don't know what I'll do with that yet. Then we grabbed, I think that was all the stuff that we got from Treasure Toy Trove, or, you know what, let me look through this real quick. Haha! I'm glad I looked back through it. We also got our TNA Impact. We've got Velvet Sky figure from Treasure Toy Trove. We got a Madison Rayne TNA Impact women's figure from Treasure Toy Trove. And another TNA Impact was we got Angela Love. So we grabbed the 3 of them up there. I'm waiting on there was a Jeff Hardy and an AJ Styles that he's trying to get in for me. I'm waiting on those. But oh no, one more. We got this Seth Rollins. We got this Seth Rollins from Treasure Toy Trove. I love this Seth. This is one of my favorite Seth figures to use. Like, if you guys saw the pick fed when I did the Royal Rumble, not our YouTube Royal Rumble, but the pick fed Royal Rumble. Man, that Seth was so fun to pose around. That was, oh man, that was awesome. That was awesome. Love that Seth. Great figure. Now, everything else was, I think, from Ringside on their amazing, incredible deals. So I went ahead and picked up the Shawn Michaels and the Batista. You guys know I already have the Brock Lesnar. Already grabbed him because I didn't have a good Elite Brock that wasn't like half busted in already, and had to grab a new Brock and just head swapped him. But we picked up the Shawn and the Batista to complete that Ruthless Aggression set just in time for the next one to come out. I think I saw the next one. I forget who was in it though already. That's already lost on me. I grabbed a battle pack, which I normally avoid these because I don't care. But I grabbed the battle pack of Bayley and Sasha Banks. Just wanted to get the Bayley gear and the Sasha Banks head. And also these are removable. Her arm bands here, her sleeves, as you can see, are finally, they're not painted on. They're just a removable piece. So I can take those and work those up for my other Sasha Banks figures. And then the Bayley just looked, you know, it's a good, like, manager Bayley. Well, not manager, but it's a good damage control Bayley. I can fix that up to be damage control Bayley, and she can now, like, manage Dakota Kai and Io Sky / Shirai, whatever. So I grabbed that, figured that would work. And then I grabbed this Bayley, because this was like $3 on Ringside. So I was like, okay, it gives me another Women's Championship, which this one actually looks nicer than the one I currently have that I'm using. It just looks a little cleaner. The center plate there is more centered, whereas mine is like the holes were punched off a little bit. And it's another basic, or another Elite body for Bayley, so I could probably fix this up with a little paint and make this a damage control Bayley. So maybe I'll do that. I'll just head swap, because here she still has, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is like super minute detail, but things that I try to pay attention to. In this one, she still has the dark brown hair, and this one she has the black hair. I don't know if that's coming through or not, but surprisingly, this basic one has a better looking head sculpt than the other one. So yeah, that I can use the basic Bayley to improve their Elite Bayley. Also, in the realm of buying things cheap, because I wanted to get them cheap, I grabbed another. They had Scarlett and Karrion Kross together. I think it was like $5 for the both of them. So I thought, okay, I can do some customs, try and do a Karrion Kross head sculpt with his hair now, and try and do, I mean, Scarlet always wears crazy attire, so I can do something with this to try and do another crazy attire for Scarlet. Well, I'm not going to get to AEW yet. I'm going to finish out the WWE here. We made our custom Seth Rollins with the, not the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, whatever set, Damian Priest, Brie Bella, Vader, and the other one. From whatever set they're in, we used the Build-A-Figure to make Seth Rollins, of course. Again, T-pose legs, but I don't care. Like, oh, man, I didn't snap that arm in all the way. But you can, like, he can throw a heck of a super kick from T-pose legs. Like, he can almost clock Damian Priest in the jaw with that super kick on those T-pose legs. So, I don't mind him. This was mostly just for, oh, I saw the pig suit. All I could think of was slapping a Seth Rollins head on that. I was like, man, I need to slap a Seth on that, and that's going to look nice. I might switch out the head. I think I want the long hair. I don't know, but it's the Drip God Seth. So I wanted to give him a nice suit, nice suited figure. So here's his suit that he has now. And of course we got the Brie Bella, we got the Damian Priest. I didn't get the Vader, I actually just got the torso piece. Because at that point, that was all I needed. And the Vader is the same Vader that we got in in the Legends wave, whichever wave he came out in. I did get this Rey. I know a lot of people were hating on this Rey Mysterio, saying this is garbage, but this is the exact Rey Mysterio that Jakks Pacific made back in 2006, 2005. Whenever, that was my very first Rey Mysterio figure. You know what, let me see if I can find that real quick. I want to show you guys. Alright guys, I'm sorry. I really thought I was going to be able to snap my fingers and then whoop, there he is. But I can't find the Jakks Pacific one, but I'm sure I've shown it off in other videos. If I do find it again, I'll keep this one set aside. That way I can show you. But this, man, this was just a huge wave of nostalgia when I saw this figure was introduced. Whenever they said they were going to remake this Rey, I was like, I need to get this. This is my very first Rey, the Cross, the 619, the baggy pants. Like, oh, this just brought back, this one hit me right in the feels, you know? Hit you right in the feelings. It's like, man, that feels good, seeing that Rey. It's not, his head's all kinds of messed up. The face isn't perfect, but, you know, it's Rey. You know, it's still a good Rey, good figure. Kind of prefer this to the tight pants Rey, just because this was Rey when I really got into Rey Mysterio. Like, when I really got into him, I was like, man, I really like this guy. He went from being alright to being, alright, you really good. You know, this is the Rey that got me there. So, anyway, not to get on my high horse about that, but that, you know, I just felt good seeing that Rey, had to grab it. Ronda Rousey is Ronda Rousey. I mean, it's a rubber jacket, which is better than the hard plastic. I'm so sick of the hard plastic goods. Like, the rubber's fine, I guess, but I'd rather have, like, Shinsuke's jacket back here. Just give me the cloth goods. I think everyone's kind of sick of the rubber and plastic. Like, you can pose it, so, like, there's some bendability, but it just doesn't look good. Like, for the guys out here taking pictures and doing videos, this doesn't look clean, having an arm bent in a jacket like that when it's folding in it. Like, that just doesn't look good. You can kind of raise her arm up, but it doesn't. Again, look how bad that looks. So if you're doing, you know, pic feds and YouTube videos and stuff, like, that's not the look you want. But anyway, it's the new Ronda Rousey with her, like, kind of shirt thing she wears. I don't know, whatever. Next, we have the Shinsuke Nakamura, which you can see I've got complete posability. He can raise his arm up, tuck his arm behind his back. I know, you know, it's got the cut in it for the Shinsuke jacket, but, like, this is just, any cloth goods look so much better with posability, and when you're doing pick feds, YouTube videos, whatever it is, it's just so much better. So can we just make that the standard for both Mattel and Jazwares, please? Let's make that the standard. This figure is so cool. This is just it's a really good Shinsuke King Nakamura. Then we'll go right into Shotzi Blackheart, our first Shotzi Blackheart. I feel like they nailed this. Like, this is a good figure. This is just, I mean, it's awesome. It's an awesome wrestling figure. There's really nothing more to say about it. I'm happy with this one. Happy with the way it turned out. The only thing is her shoulders sometimes, her arms pop out like that. Like, you can't quite get the shoulders down to get her arms, like, fully relaxed. But aside from that, really good figure. No complaints. And, of course, Alexa Bliss with Lily Doll. It's just, dude, this is awesome. This is next level. I love this so much. This is better, like, the outfit and everything, the face paint, the hair, everything. This is better than her Ultimate figure, in my opinion. Some people will argue with me. I do like the black dress and, like, the pink shirt. That was amazing, but I might put that on, because we have a couple of those Alexa Bliss Ultimates. I think we have, like, 2 or 3 of them. So we might put that on this figure just to see what it looks like on this one, too. But, man, this is so cool. Just another great figure. Now we'll get into the AEW side. But before we get to that, I do want to... my Yushin Thunder Liger figure. This was a 1 of 3,000. Like, this thing was like $13 on Ringside, guys. Like, this was insane. Insane. It's a 1 of 3,000 figure. I, probably should have left it in the package, but I don't have a Yushin Thunder Liger. Well, I do now, but I didn't before. So the fact that I could get this figure for $13, like, in his premier gear... I know this is before he had, like, the crazy shoulder armor and everything and was, like, almost Shredder looking. But, this is still a really cool figure. And it's, like, it's so playable and movable. And you can pop the arms off like that. This is, like, the 6th time I've done that. But it's so playable and so movable. And, like, you can still set it up for all your pick feds and everything. And, like, nothing sticks. Like, you don't have to break anything in. I forget the company that made this figure, but it's so good. Like, I like how everything's internal. So you have, like, the rubber gear look here. I mean, you can see, obviously, you can still see that it's not a person and it's an action figure. But it's, like, everything is controlled inside. So you can still play around with your figure and make it look really good. So, yeah, Yushin Thunder Liger. Love this figure. What a great character for wrestling. Now we get into the AEW. Starting off with Taz. You can't not get Taz. I don't care who you are. How can you not have Taz in your collection? You knew I have Jim Ross. He's the guy who's always interviewing the champions for this. Well, now we've got Taz. He's got an interview partner. We might have to set up an AEW announce table just for these two to sit at. And then they'll interview the champs from there. I don't know. We'll do something. But Taz, had to get Taz. We grabbed Penelope Ford because she was on... Basically, we got all these figures because they were on sale. And that's why I didn't get, like, the Series 100, 102, or 101s. And, like, I didn't grab that stuff yet. I was just grabbing everything that was on sale that was still available on Ringside. Because when they put their sale up, like, stuff went fast. I had stuff in my car. Like, I wanted to get the Sheamus and the Omos. They were gone by the time I went to check out. It's like they just took them out of my cart because they were already sold out. I'm like, dang. So it went quick. So we grabbed Penelope Ford. Pretty good wrestling figure. But again, these dang leather coats. Like, let's just get rid of these. And give me cloth goods, please. Shawn Spears. Underrated figure, to be honest. I mean, whether you like the character or not, this is just a really good figure. I feel like the Jazwares has nailed the minimalist figure. The less stuff that comes with them, the better the figure is. Like, you can pose them and everything, and like, so with what I really like about these that you can't do with WWE figures and Mattel's figures, you can do the side ab crunch. You cannot do this with wrestling figures from Mattel. They don't have the side... I mean, the women's figures do, I guess, kind of. But the men's figures don't have a side ab crunch. Like, this is just... right here, this is an amazing feature that Jazwares has mastered that I would love for Mattel to get into that game. And, you know, yeah, it's noticeable because you have the big, clear-cut line going through the chest. But you've got the same thing going on here. Oh, Damian Priest. Here. With Karrion Kross, you've got the same thing going on. It's broken up because you can hide it, like, in the abs. But you still have the same line going through. So let's just get to this level and just make a good figure, please. Let's get there, Mattel. I would love to see it. Give me the side ab crunch. Of course, we had to get Andrade. I love this figure so much. Oh, man, this is just such a cool figure. I got a head swap because I really like, you know, his head on it. Not that it's not his head, but it's better than the mask, I think. Well, I guess depending on how I'm going to use it. I don't know. We got to see how we use this figure first before I do anything. But I like the suit. Again, it's all the leather goods, and I wish Jazwares, my advice to you is follow Mattel and get the cloth goods. Make that the standard, please. Then we can have just complete wrestling figures all across the board. Everyone will be happy. But yeah, I don't like these rubber goods. I would rather have the cloth goods. We've got a Jade Cargill, which another absolutely incredible figure. I know the women's figures don't sell as much as like the men's figures do for whatever reason. But this, if you guys are going to get an AEW women's figure this year or early next year, this is the one I think to get. Like, this is a incredible figure. And again, less is more. It's very minimal. It doesn't have a coat or glasses or anything fancy. I think she has like extra hands, but it is such a good posable figure. Like, you can do so much with this figure. Like, it's just easy to pose around. Whatever you want to do, everything's like, it doesn't feel like there's any stiff joints on the figure. It's just a really good figure. I like this Jade Cargill a lot. Possibly one of the best figures of 2022. Then we go into one of my favorite characters and one of my absolute favorite looks for a figure. Now this, obviously, I'm not going to make this a wrestling figure. This wrestling figure is not going to be a wrestling, like, you know what I mean? This is going to be one of my promo guys, one of my, you know, team leader guys. This Kenny Omega is not going to be a wrestling Kenny Omega. I have plenty of Kenny Omegas that are built for wrestling and ready to wrestle. So this is not going to be one of my wrestling Kennys. This is just going to be a promo Kenny, you know, a manager Kenny. But it's such an awesome figure. I love this. The cool jacket, the great head sculpt, the pants, the ripped up jeans look so cool. Like, this is just a solid football figure. You know what I'm saying? This is an awesome figure. Really love it. Hopefully we'll get more down the line like this. Hopefully we can get more, like, guys in suits and stuff. Because this, they do this a lot in AEW. Have the guys come out in their suits, and then they also have, like, ring attire. And you get to see it a lot. Definitely more than you do in WWE. So I hope we get more of the suited guys from AEW. Then we've got Red Velvet. Another good one. Not as good as Jade Cargill, I don't think. I mean, I like the character more. But the figure's not as good in my opinion. But it's not like there's anything bad about this figure either, you know? It's not the worst AEW figure. Definitely not the worst women's figure. But just not my favorite. It's, I don't know. This one feels a little more like breakable, I guess you could say. The figure is smaller in size and everything, and the heels are a little loose down here, so I just feel like it's way more breakable. This one's pretty solid, but this one's just, like, this feels real. You guys see the, oh, here we go. You guys can see the action. It's very loose, where this one more like clicks. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that one clicks. That does not click. So, not as solid. And then I think I'm going to save the best for last, because my absolute favorite wrestling figure of the entire year is this Bryan Danielson figure, because it is so good. Like, I've already posed this figure around so many times. It's still solid. It holds everywhere. Like, it's just This is one of the best figures, like, in hand, just to hold and feel and do anything with. If you're going to get any wrestling figure of AEW's at all this year, 100%, not even close. Bryan Danielson is hands down the figure to get. It is just such a good figure. This figure, man, is... You can use this for so much. You pop his head off, you could put, like, any number of heads on there, paint the gear up a little bit so it's not his, like, maroon color, and you can make anyone out of this figure. Like, it's such a good fit. Like, oh, man, it's so underrated how good this figure is. But, guys, this is my choice of 2022 best figure, possibly of the year. I think I'm going to say this could be figure of the year, at least for AEW. I might have to go through and look at everything that came out this year for AEW and WWE and give you guys, like, a top 5. Like, what are the best of the best figures from the year. But I'm telling you right now, this Bryan Danielson, I guarantee this is going to be on my top 5 list. It might not be number 1, but it's definitely going to be top 5. And actually, I'll promise you it's going to be in the top 3. That's how confident I am in this figure. This is so freaking good. It's such a solid, like, such a solid fella. But anyway, guys, that's a look at our figures here for November and December here of 2022. This is wrapping up 2022, guys. This is it. And then next we're going to come back. I think I'm going to take like a week off. I'm not going to have the men's Royal Rumble because we're actually doing we're going to be doing a mixed Royal Rumble next for the Internet Championship. It might not be out on the 1st, but it's going to be, you know, close to the 1st or, you know, pretty soon thereafter. So it might not be on the 1st, but we're going to have a mixed Royal Rumble with the men and the women competing for the Internet Championship, and then we're going to do the same thing for the Up, Down, Down Championship. We're going to have a mixed Rumble to start the year off, and then, you know, if a woman wins the Internet Championship, she's going to have to defend it against the men in February, and same thing, vice versa, if a man wins the Up, Down, Down, he's going to have to try and defend against the women in February, because February will go back to normal, but just for January, just for something fun and something different, we're going to do a bit of a different with the mixed gender championships. I'm literally just going to go to everyone's bin, grab 5 people, whatever 5 I grab, plop, on the ring they go, and you know how it goes from there. So we'll see you then, guys. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. Bye!